Hello, everyone. This is going to be a little bit of a change from our normal pace. I'm having some technical difficulties right now, so I'm recording into a different software. This isn't going to be as produced. I do not have a highly produced episode, but this is not even going to have the same level of production that I typically do, which is all well and good because really my intention was to just pop on the microphone for a little while, say hello, and talk about something real quick. And it's kind of funny that this is happening because what I wanted to talk about with you today was this feeling of being a little off balance due to the change of season. Now, first, for context, I know some of you have school-aged children, so this time of year has a whole new level of stress, change in routines, and all of that. So God bless all of you who are dealing with helping other humans to transition, as well as trying to help yourself to transition. Granted, even if you don't have school-aged children, you probably have team members who have school-aged children, so you're feeling a little bit of the ripple effect with that. For myself, I'm just getting back to Virginia after having spent about 4 weeks, a little over 4 weeks in New England, so primarily in Massachusetts, but a little bit in Maine as well. A little bit of vacation, a little bit of business, taking my mom to the Cape, networking events, speaking events, time on the beach, all well and good, but nearly a full month of being out of my normal routine, out of my own home and space. And so this week has been a little chaotic. I'm definitely feeling off balance by that. Now for you, you might have a plethora of things going on as well. And I know everybody's situation is different. And yet the common thread we all have is we are in leadership. We have leadership positions. We need to show up for our people, for our projects. And so there's still things expected of us, even as we go through transitions, be it physical, mental, emotional, or all of them. And as I ramble, what I'm coming to is this is definitely a time to have empathy for ourselves and empathy for others. Now, at the time of this recording, we are talking about September, going back to school. Summers are over. People are coming back from vacation. We're heading into a period of semi-normalcy right before the winter holidays start, but we're still trying to get there. And so sometimes what happens is we rush right through it. We've been here before. We've done this. We know what we're doing, and we just want everything to just be normal and back to normal routine. But we're not there yet. And so I want to just acknowledge that, send energy and love to you. And if you need it, some guidance to slow down a little bit and just recognize that this is a period of transition. It doesn't last forever, but it does take some slowing down. And actually, there are really good things that come out of slowing down. When you slow down, one, you can catch your breath. Sometimes, we're feeling off, but we're just trying to push through, and we might not be paying attention to some signals that we need to pay attention to, either our bodies or our relationships or just things in general. Just be paying attention to what's going on around us, right? Self-aware, situationally aware, all of those really awesome EQ terms that we hear over and over again and that are becoming buzzwords. So slowing down helps us to check in with ourselves, check in with other people. And also slowing down gives you the time to think about how do you even want the next season to go? What do you want from this next season? Let's just talk about September and October and maybe part of November, right before, at least in the US, before Thanksgiving really comes about. So over the next couple of months, 2.5 months, when you think about last year, how did it go? And do you want it to be different? And if you want it to be different, how can you bring that about? What can you do to set up this season so it's a little bit different? I know for myself, I want to be much more on top of things. I want to be not just on top of things, let me be honest. I want to be ahead of the game. I have things coming up over the next couple of months, and I want to be prepared in advance, right? I want to have identified all the questions I need to ask. I want to ask those questions. I want those questions answered. If there are any problems, I want to, be able to identify those and solve them before it's last minute and we're realizing, oh my goodness, there's something we didn't think of, or there is a problem we hadn't identified. So for this season, I definitely want to be ahead of the game. I also want to not overcommit this season. I was very overcommitted last year. And so that's going to take some discipline and some saying no to some things. Personally, in my life, my partner, Eric, his son, Charlie, say his name on the podcast, probably the first time. So Eric's son, Charlie, just started college and is having an amazing time. And I'm so happy for him. But this means Eric and I actually have more time to ourselves and more time than we have ever had in our relationship since we first got together. So we want to be planning on doing more things as a couple this season. That's important to us. It's important to me, and it's important to him. So in terms of your own life, personally and professionally, how do you want this next season to go? This is a great opportunity for you to consider all of that. And so I'm going to stop right here. This was meant to really be quick, rolling right off of Labor Day weekend here in the US. I want this to be quick and easy. So my last call to action is, if we are not connected on LinkedIn yet, please send me an invitation to connect. You can find me directly at linkedin.com/in/Jody Flynn, or you can search for Jody Flynn on the platform. I'm constantly on LinkedIn, so I should be at or near the top of your search results. And when you send the invitation, just add a note saying you're a listener of the podcast, because I love connecting with those of you who listen to this podcast. Because if you're listening to this podcast, I already know one thing about you. You want to get better. You are a leader, and you want to get better at leading for yourself and for the people you lead. And so please send me an invitation to connect. And if you know other women who would find this podcast to be a useful resource, please share it with them. That's it. I hope you have an amazing season. I've got some great episodes lined up, some really interesting women I'm going to be talking to, and some topics that I think you're going to find pretty interesting. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already following the podcast, please hit the follow or the subscribe button. And that is all. Thank you so much, and have a great week.